Can you use equity in your principal residence to purchase overseas properties? Big shout out to Nomad Capitalist for bringing this topic up, and I want to explain this from a banker's and real estate agent's point of view. Anybody who had purchased a property before 2018 is almost certainly sitting on a huge amount of equity. And one of the questions that I get is, if I'm to do a cash out refinance, is there any limit on what I can use the proceeds of a cash out refinance for? And the answer is no. Some people purchase boats, some people pay off debt, but the truly smart people are using the equity in their house to leverage the purchase of more properties. But if you're going to purchase properties and you're going to go and buy someplace that's across the country, why not consider buying someplace that's in a different part of the world? And it's not as crazy as you might think. Countries like Mexico, Turkey, Italy, Croatia, and even some countries in South America are offering a lot of incentives for Americans to purchase second homes, and even offering residency permits and in some cases even citizenship if you buy a second home in their countries. So why would you want to do this? Well, it comes down to your own personal preference. For a lot of people, they're happy staying exactly where they're at. But if you're looking to do something maybe a little bit more adventurous, you've always wanted to live on the Adriatic Sea in Italy, most likely you've got enough equity if you purchased a home 5 years ago or earlier to make that happen. And that's something that we actually do here at the Rohrs team. How much equity does a typical person have in America? Well, let's say we took someone who bought in the Washington, D.C. area a single-family house in 2012. The values for a single-family house in the last 10 years have gone up about $300,000 for a typical four-bedroom, three-bath single-family house. During that time period, the loan required to purchase it has amortized between $130,000 and $150,000 depending on interest rates. So a typical person who bought a house in the DC metro area, for example, in 2012 has $450,000 worth of equity that they can leverage to buy overseas. Now, what are some additional advantages? By living overseas, you'll have access to lower cost healthcare. You'll have access for your kids to lower cost education in some places. And maybe most importantly, you'll have a great hedge against inflation, because people are always going to want to have a place to stay, and if you're going to invest, maybe it makes sense to have something that's a little sexier. Step-by-step process, if you want to look at these scenarios and how they can benefit you, well, you go to rohrsteam.com, you click on our application link, you set up an appointment with us, and we can talk about what a lot of our other clients have done and people who've actually used the equity in their house to purchase a second home overseas. It may be right for you, it may not, but at least you can operate from a position of knowledge. So hopefully this video has been of value to you, and maybe I'll be seeing you on the European coasts sometime soon. If you're thinking about moving to the DC metro area and want to know about the pros and cons, the do's and don'ts, the working and playing while living in the DC metro, subscribe, like, and click the bell so you're always up to date on market conditions, new property listings, and real estate news that affects you in the Washington, DC metro area. We receive calls, emails, and texts every day from people just like you looking for information about making a move to Washington, D.C., and we absolutely love it. Whether you're moving in a few days or a few months, give us a call, send us a text, or write us an email so we can assist you in your transition from where you are now to where you want to be, Washington, D.C.